Having worked in the broadcast and media sector for around 30 years, it's pretty obvious that it is a male-dominated industry. And you can attend any industry trade show to see that firsthand. For those in the industry, if you look at your YouTube channel analytics, you might be as staggered as we were to see that 93% are male viewers. We also know that broadcast engineering and technical courses at universities also struggle to recruit female talent. So what is going wrong?
RISE is a not-for-profit advocate group for gender diversity within the broadcast manufacturing and services sector. They aim to open up more opportunities for female broadcast professionals, and we're delighted to be joined today by RISE MD Carrie Wootten. And following their successful mentoring program, we are also joined by Joanna Taylor, a RISE mentee. So welcome to the show, guys. Hi.
Hi.
Carrie,
Hi.
let's start with a quick RISE overview. Quick recap on RISE.
Okay, so RISE, as you said, is an advocacy group for women working in broadcast media technology sector. We've been up and running for about 4 years now, and we have 4 strands of work. One of them is our annual mentoring program. We obviously deliver lots of events and seminars and workshops. We have our annual awards ceremony, and we also have our education arm, which is called Rise Up, where we are working with primary schools and also secondary schools.
You have a mentoring program. Why is this needed in 2021?
That's such a good question, and is one that I get asked quite a lot, but I think it's clearly demonstrated by the sheer amount of applications that we get year on year for the mentoring program. We know, as you said at the beginning, we know that the industry is not gender balanced. We know that it's not diverse enough. We know that we need new talent. We also know that it's an aging white male workforce. And as we said, we're struggling to see university talent coming through. So we need to keep, retain, champion, support, encourage, profile, spotlight women in the industry so that they can progress, so they can progress in their careers, that they can go after the jobs that they want to, or feel more confident in the positions that they're in. And when we see this in black and white in the applications that we read every year, that this support is still really needed.
Yeah, possibly even more in 2021. So Joanna, what did you gain from the mentoring program last year?
So many different things. For a start, a really good support network. So all the mentees get together once a month at least. And we have a WhatsApp group where we support each other. So that's on top of the mentoring that you receive with your mentor. We also had a lot of training sessions on different work skills like negotiation skills, building your personal brand, things like that. And then, of course, the mentoring, which has been invaluable for me. I would speak to my mentor once every couple of weeks. We'd speak for over an hour at least. And one of the things that's come out of it for me is I got a new job out of this. So I actually was able to move my career forward. I wasn't really sure where I wanted to go next, and my mentor helped me to actually establish that.
I was just going to pick up on what Joanna says, that that's what we see, is that actually the mentor can provide really critical advice and support at key moments in the mentee's kind of career and pathway and the journey through the program.
So Joanna, who was your mentor and how did the relation work during the program?
So my mentor was Marina Kalkanis, and she is the CEO of M2A Media, and they specialize in online streaming. And so what was amazing was, I don't know how Carrie did this, but we had so much in common. That she didn't come from a tech background. So I used to be a journalist for many years, and I've actually kind of transitioned into a tech career sort of later on in life. And Marina had studied English and had also been a writer, and then had sort of transitioned into tech in a similar way. So that was really cool. So what we would do, obviously, we've never been able to meet in person due to COVID, which is really sad, but we would meet after work on a Thursday evening, maybe have a glass of wine and just chat about, just chat about work. And initially, I would just sort of run scenarios by her and see, and she would give me confidence that I'd done the right thing. But then I felt like she wanted me to kind of, she felt like, I guess, that she wasn't giving me enough, which I felt like I was getting a lot out of it, but I wanted to sort of give more, because I think mentoring always, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. So we decided that we would go through and work out what my ideal job description was. And so we did a sort of exercise where we worked that out. So we went through, and she kind of echoed back to me, like, is that really what you want? And, but then you'd end up doing this. Oh, okay, actually, no. And because I was sort of at a crossroads in my career where I wasn't really sure what my next step was, and we kind of thrashed that out, worked out what my ideal job was. And then I kind of went after that and spoke to my boss about it. Ended up getting put on a secondment, and I have now been given that job officially this week. So it's been great.
So, Carrie, just rewinding a little bit, what does the program actually involve? And I guess, how do you select mentors, and how do you select mentees, and how do you match them up effectively?
Yeah, so the program, I think Joanna kind of hinted to it, but is structured in three ways. There's obviously the mentoring support with the mentor, and then, as Joanna said, then there's this kind of program of workshops, meetups that happen between the mentees on a monthly basis. And actually, that's one of our main ambitions for the program. Actually, is that the women walk away with a group of colleagues that they can talk to and rely on and champion and support each other after the program. And that's one of the kind of key ambitions for it. And then we also look to industry to support the women as well. So we're really lucky to have, for example, the DPP invite the mentees to their technology leaders briefing, for example, like access to talks and seminars and workshops and people that they wouldn't maybe necessarily have access to. So that's a kind of crucial bit of the program as well. And application, so mentees apply through an application form. So that's on our website now for this year's program. And for the first time, we're launching in North America this year. So we'll be delivering the mentoring program in the UK, in Singapore and North America. And then the mentors, we spend quite a bit of time on that matching process. Actually, it's vital to try and get it right, because actually the relationships work, but if there's a good connection and there's kind of, there's a synergy there. So that, that might be that actually the mentee's in position A and wants to get to position B, a bit like I suppose Joanna found in her process. And how do I get there? What does that look like? So sometimes we will work, we will choose a mentor based on that particular goal. Or, as I say, it might be more broader than that. So it really depends on what the mentees put in their application form and what they hope to get for the program. But we do spend a good chunk of time really trying to work that out quite carefully and try and make the best match possible. So we're always looking for more mentors. We always, the wider the pool, the better the match that we can make. So if anybody out there is thinking that they might like to be a mentor, then yeah, I'd love to hear from them.
So probably quite a lot changed in the program, or you probably had to adapt certain elements of the program, like you said, the WhatsApp group and things like that for 2020, with COVID. Have you got anything that you've learned in the last year that, now that we're coming out of lockdown, now that we're going to hopefully get back to some sort of normal, you're going to take anything forward with this, Carrie?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 2020 was extraordinary because we were literally just starting the program as COVID hit. And we'd never really done anything remotely, actually, because it had all been face to face. And I wasn't sure whether working remotely, having a group of women that not actually even met and still haven't met, they've still not got together, would build those relationships that we kind of rely on, that kind of is the bit that we hope for the program. So yes, it changed dramatically. But actually, as we know, as we've kind of progressed through the last year, we all know that relationships can be built via Zoom and other tools. We can communicate, we can support each other. I have promised the group from last year that we will get together. I promised them face to face. We will at some point in 2021. Hopefully later in the year, we will get together face to face, because it is important. But I think what it did show me was that we can reach more geographically because of the technology. And now that we do know that mentoring relationship can exist, really well in a virtual space. Ideally, you would definitely meet face to face at some point. But I think just having the technology, knowing that it can work, definitely allows us to work, more geographically across the UK and reach more women who are in different locations. So.
It seems to me it's a 12-month mentoring program, but it seems to me that you've got evidence that the mentees and mentors continue almost like a career-long relationship. Yeah,
that's what we hope for. We really do, that everybody will stay in touch. Yeah, as Joanna says, they have their WhatsApp group. All of the 3 cohorts that we've supported so far have their WhatsApp group. And actually what's interesting is seeing that first cohort actually from a few years ago, seeing where they are now, how they've progressed. And, some of them, they're all, well, not some of them, they're all doing brilliantly, and they're all still in touch, they all still support each other. And actually, they're engaging with all the other cohorts of women as well. So we've now got this massive network of women that have been through the programme, and also all of the mentors as well, all of the men and women that support the programme. We can't obviously run it without them. So we now got nearly 200 people that have been involved in that programme alone. So I'm really excited about expanding that again this year.
Yeah, we've all got a LinkedIn group that we've all joined together. And so for example, my last sort of official meeting with my mentor was in January, but she knew that this job offer was coming sort of in either this month or next month. And unfortunately, initially it wasn't quite as I'd hoped it would go. And so on Friday, I emailed my mentor, and just to keep her up to date, because she had asked sort of to be kept up to date. I said, look, this has happened. And she said, oh, that's disappointing. Let's jump on a call first thing 8 a.m. on Monday morning, which was incredible of her. And so she gave me this huge pep talk. I went and talked to my boss and sorted everything out. And now I'm back on track. So that was amazing. Yeah. So she's still there for me, even though it's finished.
And I think that's what's really important, Joanna, isn't it? Is that actually that mentor is there to guide you in those what are difficult situations sometimes, where it is, particularly if it's around a new job, negotiation, salary, whatever it happens to be. We had that with a woman in the first year as well, who had to negotiate quite hard to get the salary increase with a promotion that she'd got. So I think this is where it has real value, like real value for the mentees. It gives them the confidence and support and the advice that actually enables them to have sometimes these really difficult and challenging conversations.
Yeah, it kind of sort of answers the question I was just about to ask when you started talking, Joanna. But based on your experiences, why is it important that this mentoring program continues? But of course, that is it. It's the ongoing relationship.
Absolutely. And I think that we still have this issue in the industry where there's not enough women in this industry, and so the ones that are there, we need to support them, because we need to make sure that they stay.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? We don't. So there's 2 things, isn't there? We want to promote and support and champion and crucially, as Joanna just said, retain the women that we do have in the industry. We don't want to lose any, and then obviously just attract more talent as well. But we had that bit about supporting women already in the industry is absolutely vital. It's and that's why we definitely need the programme still.
What particular challenges have you faced in your career so far before you discovered RISE?
So for me, I've sort of had quite a varied career. So I was a journalist for 10 years, and then I started my own business as a personal trainer. I did that for 5 years, and then due to an injury, I couldn't do that anymore, and I was really looking for a new career. And my husband works in tech, and so I was going to all these tech conferences with him, and I just could see that there were no women there. And I was like, this is strange. This has to change. So I decided to kind of be the change that I wanted to see. And so I found this program at Sky called Get Into Tech, where they help women to get into tech. And so I learned how to code 3 months during that program. And then at the end of that was offered a job at Sky. But that came with the challenges that I then joined the grad scheme, where I was there with a bunch of sort of 22-year-old boys who'd just finished uni. And there I am, having had a previous career, but that people really didn't care about those skills that I already had. So it was like, how do I sell those skills? And I might not have the coding skills, but I'm learning and I'm getting better, but I have other skills. And so it was kind of that. And then also just coming into that industry. Yeah, absolutely. And we could all learn from each other, which was good. But it was trying to convince them that they could learn from me as much as I could learn from them. And so that was part of it. And also just coming into a new industry and not really knowing what the options were out there. Suddenly all these jobs became available to me that I'd never heard of before. Scrum Master, which is the job that I'm doing now, or technical analyst, or all these roles. I didn't have a clue about. So it was like, where do I go next? And that was really what I needed to establish for my career.
Do you mind us asking, Joanna, where are you going to be starting work? What is your role? Where and what are you going to be doing?
So so I'm going to be a Scrum Master now, still in Sky, but
Okay, great.
So instead of doing the coding, I'm now managing the people that do the coding. So it's definitely a step up for me.
Yeah,
and it's something that plays more to my skills as well.
So finally, Carrie, 2 questions in one really. Is RISE only for women that are currently in employment, or those that maybe are looking as well? And obviously, finally, if you can just fill us in again on where people can find out more about applying.
Yeah, so it's the mentoring programs for women in the industry and also for women who would like to get into the industry as well. If there's anyone who thinks that actually this might be for them, then we're really eager to support them as well and encourage them. And then also, to apply, you just go to risewyb.com and the application form is on there.
Thanks, Carrie. Thanks, Joanna. Thanks for coming in and telling us all about it. Please do keep us informed. We'd love to hear how it all goes in the future. And that was very interesting. Great. Right. And thanks also to Media Proxy for their support on Kit Plus TV. And you can check them out at mediaproxy.com. See you next time.